Good morning. Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Friday, July the 18th. We're here to look at the rest of the new releases that have been published this week. Friday is Freeform Friday, and we'll be looking at the rest of the cozy mysteries that were published this week that we started to look at on Monday. Couple quick announcements. I don't have sprints tonight. I don't do them on Friday night. Our next sprints are tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 1 o'clock my time, and they go for 5 hours. We do sprints every every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and for a total of 10 hours. The other announcements, if you see on the banner here, we're going to have a schedule change for the morning show. I have been doing it for the last 2 years, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every morning. It's a lot of work. And the channel hasn't grown as much, which is okay. We're here for quality, not quantity. But because it's a lot of work, it's keeping me from doing some things I would like to do. With the time that I have, it's not just doing the 22 minutes every morning. There is a lot of behind the scenes work as well. So, as I had contemplated just stopping doing it. I don't think that is the right answer though. So what I think I'm going to do is cut back. We're going to do it 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. And we're just going to focus on the mysteries, the cozy mysteries and the crime fiction and thrillers. And we'll play with that idea for a while. Maybe it will work, maybe it won't work. But starting next week, that is what we're going to give it a good, healthy try. Hi, Elena. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday to you. How are you doing? And she says hello to me, to Mary, to Emily, and Kim. Cajun also usually listens in, so you might want to list Cajun the next time. Elena says, today I'm going to Dave & Buster's for the birthday, celebrating for the July birthdays. Oh, neat. Which is yours? Yours is the 30th, if I remember right. Oh, that'll be fun. All right, shall we jump into the rest of the cozy mysteries? I believe we ended here. Deathly Cold by Camille Sharp, 6th in the Maiden Harlow Mysteries. Murder is a dish best served cold. Winter in Michigan should do the trick. Maiden Harlow and her family have bought a rundown mansion and are set to start reviving the amazing old place, but the problems start as soon as the sale is final. Strange noises in the walls, missing keys, and a mysterious bloodstain all point to a dark history lurking within the house. As if that wasn't enough, the furnace breaks down right before a massive snowstorm is due to hit. Desperate for funds to make the necessary repairs, Maiden turns to sassy Aunt Bella for help, but Bella's solution involves teaming up with an eccentric and dysfunctional film crew. As tensions rise and secrets are revealed, Maiden and her family find themselves trapped in the spooky old house with a killer among them. Maiden and David are forced to team up to solve a murder before anyone else gets hurt, but the game is different this time. David's usual methods aren't working, and he seems to be hiding something from Maiden. There's a lot more than murder happening. The secrets run deep, and Maiden needs to find out if they're tied as closely to the history of the manor as she suspects they are. Her theories are forming, but no one believes her. Can she solve a case this strange and complicated on her own? Might have a touch of gothic to it. You never know. Lost Waters by Jenna St. James and Stephanie D'Amour. 11th in the Enchanted Waters Mysteries. This says it's a crossover from A Witch in the Woods mystery series. It's May in the Bermuda Triangle, and that means tourists, treasure hunters, and trouble. When the former sheriff is attacked and left for dead, it's up to Jace and Isla to figure out why, and it doesn't take long. A valuable piece of treasure has gone missing from one of the sunken pirate ships our friendly Kraken, Hydra Ann, protects. With magical treasure missing and a dangerous thief on the loose, the PADA Cursed Relics team must track down the culprit before another islander gets hurt, or worse. And Kim says, good morning. Good morning, Kim. Lena says, yes, my birthday is not next Wednesday. It is the following Wednesday after that. Aha. It's going to be a good day, I'm sure. A Not So Happy Camper by Lily Sterling, 6th in the Holt Jacobs Mysteries. A dead body in the woods. Murder is wild. Do you know what's more unpleasant than a backpacking trip? Being stuck in the forest with corpses, killers, and skunks. Ugh. My tent won't protect me from intruders, but how do I keep track of suspects when anyone could be lurking in the trees? If I want to return to civilization, I must solve this crime immediately. Will I survive the great outdoors? It has a note here. Holt Jacobs isn't for everyone. He's a sarcastic introvert who can never get quite enough coffee. Becoming a sarcastic sleuth was unexpected, but as an engineer, Holt is used to solving puzzles. End of that row. The Nursing Home Hoax. Can we still call them that? By Shelley Thrasher and Anne Faulkner. Kim says, my 60th is 3 weeks from today. Yay, how is that possible? I get you. I'm going to be level 59 this year towards the end of the year. It's crazy because you feel at least 30 years younger than that. Taylor, a semi-retired lawyer, and Marilee, whom she met in college, reunite in their 80s with a bang. They bond over the return of their college friend Edith, a doctor working in Africa who returns to the U.S. for medical treatment and ends up in rehab at a local nursing home not far from Taylor and Marilee. But when Taylor and Marilee visit, all is not as it seems. Several long-term patients have been victimized by a cybercriminal, and local law enforcement seem as uninterested as they are inept. With the help of 2 high school seniors, amateur sleuths Taylor and Marilee must solve the mystery of who is taking advantage of wealthy residents so they can spend more time dealing with their romantic feelings, which have evolved during their 60 years apart. See, they were doing okay. Can you just not solve a murder? That's all I ask. Kill somebody and solve it. Excuse me. Murder by the Ledger by Blair Barrows and Corinne Winters. When a suspicious fire breaks out in the carriage house behind the Inkberry Inn, right after disputed inheritance and the sudden death of a notorious heir, Tessa Langley knows the town's history is about to catch fire too. At the center of the mystery, a hidden ledger, a cryptic anchor page, and records someone has gone to great lengths to erase. As the archive's past bleeds into the present, Tessa and Marla must follow a trail of marginalia, forged documents, and chapel floorboards to uncover the truth. But with a town full of buried scandals and power players rewriting the story in real time, the cost of exposing the truth could be fatal. In a place where history was never clean, the paper trails might just lead to murder. Fear in First Gear. Tow Truck Murder Mysteries, book number 7 by Karen C. Whalen. In the midst of a merciless blizzard, shoeaholic tow truck driver Delaney Moran finds herself in a race against time and her own sanity. After discovering a dead woman buried in a snow-locked vehicle, she barely escapes an avalanche that obliterates all evidence of her shocking find. Distrust shadows her every move as the police suspect she hallucinated the whole thing, and friends joke about her body count. Fueled by guilt and a fierce determination for justice, Delaney plunges into a perilous hunt for the truth. Solving the crime would be a nice I told you so, too. Can she discover the killer before becoming the next victim in this comical whodunit? Home Cat Blues by Alison O'Leary. Life in a sleepy English town is rarely this dramatic, but when a string of anonymous letters sends the locals into a tailspin, things go from unsettling to downright deadly. Jeremy Goodman, now the head teacher at Sir Frank Wainwright's, thought his biggest challenge would be managing rowdy students. However, when one of his teachers is found dead after receiving a chilling message, Jeremy finds himself drawn into a mystery darker than the town's afternoon tea. With the help of his sharp-witted wife Molly, their foster son Carlos, and two feline sleuths, Aubrey and Vincent, Jeremy starts piecing together the clues. But when Carlos becomes a target and his girlfriend Teddy disappears, Jeremy realizes that this mystery has claws. But who is the culprit? And can Jeremy unravel the truth before anyone else gets hurt? Or will this local scandal turn into a full-blown catastrophe? End of that row. I think there's a sneeze coming. Excuse me. Excuse me. Two of them. Harvest Homicide by Kathleen Suzette, 37th in A Freshly Baked Cozy Mysteries. It's fall in Sandy Harbor, Maine, and Allie is back, juggling a new business venture, early morning runs, and plenty of pumpkin spice lattes shared with her best friend Lucy. Life has never been so sweet, but when a trip to a local farm ends with the discovery of a dead body, everything changes. With Allie's husband heading up the official investigation, she and Lucy can't resist doing a little sleuthing of their own. Between baking sessions and town gossip, the two friends dig deep into the mystery. As crimson and gold leaves swirl, one thing is clear. Autumn in Sandy Harbor is anything but quiet. Excuse me. The Rookery by G.J. Bellamy. 8th in the Sophie Burgoyne Mysteries. A slither of spies. A slither is now the collective name for a group of competing foreign agents, with each person's occupation being unknown to the rest. The first and only occurrence known to humanity appeared in and around Estraham House, Streatham Common, the Common of London, in June 1921. It should have been an easy surveillance job for Burgoyne's agency. In fact, the setting could not have been more comfortable. A large, spacious house, little work to do, a backup team nearby, shops within easy walking distance, and most importantly, their targets were coming to them, drawn in by a subterfuge. Unfortunately, someone in the slither is also an active assassin, and that's where things began going wrong, horribly wrong, until it became a case of spy versus spy versus spy. In this dangerous game where eyes and ears are everywhere, Sophie and her friends become stretched perilously thin, where a hidden menace is close at hand, walking among them, within reach. Interesting. Might have to check that series out for Spy vs. Spy September. Death at Beekeeper's Hollow by Tanis Laidlaw. 5th in the Madeline Brooks Mysteries. When estate agent and former probation officer Madeline Brooks hears her friend's long-lost daughter has vanished from a high-security rehab center, she's concerned. When a second young woman disappears days later, she's alarmed. And when both are written off as having simply walked out, Maddie knows something's terribly wrong. Beekeeper's Hollow is no ordinary clinic. Beyond the beautiful facade of the manor house and beneath its manicured gardens and rustic beehives lies locked doors, drugged patients, and whispered warnings. Further investigation by Maddie reveals coded ledgers, manipulated documents, and other far more sinister discoveries than anyone could have imagined. Someone is profiting from silence, and someone is watching her. Next up, Felonious Magic. I don't think it would be felinous, but by Paula Lester, 5th in Unfamiliar Magic series. Being magically monitored is bad enough. Being suspected of murder by the magical tribunal, that's a whole new level of annoying. Ivy Patterson thought her biggest problem was a crate of possessed produce, but when her sassy black cat Tabby speaks out loud in the middle of a tribunal hearing, it sets off a magical chain reaction that lands Ivy with a probation bracelet, a ban on spell work, and front row seats to a murder investigation, starring her as suspect number one. Now the town's buzzing, the tribunal's watching her every move, and Ivy can't even cast a containment charm without setting off alarms. With a sarcastic familiar, a teenage assistant who's way too eager about forbidden magic, and a growing list of suspicious tribunal members, Ivy has no choice but to unofficially figure out who did the deed before someone pins the whole thing on her. End of that row. Knew it. It's gone. Let's see if we can find it. These books seem to disappear. Yeah, it's gone. I don't know if it's like, but it happens too regularly. I don't know. I don't know. It's gone. So that's all we have in the Cozy Mysteries. I did have one that sounded interesting in a nonfiction one. Just to point it out, it's called Monopoly X, How Top Secret World War II Operations Use the Game of Monopoly to Help Allied POWs Escape, Conceal Spies, and Send Coded Secrets. This is by Philip E. Orbanes. This is nonfiction. This is a true story. Monopoly X is the fascinating true story of what is arguably the most unusual and best kept secret operation of World War II. The masterminds at England's top secret MI9 and later America's MIS-X created a special version of the popular game, hiding tools, maps, and money within game boards delivered by fictitious charities to captured Allied servicemen held at gunpoint behind barbed wire in German prison camps. This ingenious and complex plot, dubbed Monopoly X, was never discovered by the Nazis and led to many successful Allied breakouts. The creation and consequences of Monopoly X remained a deep secret through the war and for decades after, until now. For the first time, Philip E. Orbanes tells the full story of the people behind this clandestine program, how it was devised, implemented, and used to great success. A tale of daring-do as compelling as the World War II classic The Great Escape. Monopoly X is an amazing war story of Allied intelligence services, resistance forces in Europe, heroes and heroines, a notorious traitor, and the pivotal role a seemingly innocent board game played in secret codes and espionage. Well, that sounds cool. I might have to actually read that one. All right. So that is all we have for today. We are probably going to end a little bit early, but just wanted to say again that we're going to have some changes on the channel starting next week. We're only going to do Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays for the morning show. Elena says, thanks so much and have a great weekend. See you tomorrow afternoon. I'll be at the park tomorrow morning with my dad and bring my iPad with me. Oh, that sounds like a very good morning. And she says, see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. You have a good Friday and a good morning tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Kim says, have a great day, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Elena, what is it going to be? So we are, instead of doing all 5 days of the week, we're only going to do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. And we're just going to do mysteries. We're going to do the cozy mysteries and the crime fiction and thrillers. We're going to drop, for now, romance and science fiction and fantasy. I just need to pull back a little bit so I can work on a writing project I'd like to finally get to. We're still going to keep the sprints on Tuesday and Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoons. We are just dropping the Tuesday and Thursday morning shows. So I'll have those days YouTube shows up as usual. They're just going to be no Tuesday or Thursday mornings. That's all. Otherwise, I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Friday nights. As Elena said, we'll have them tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern, and they go for 5 hours on Saturdays. So, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Hope you have a good Friday. Be safe, read good books, and as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.